E aí, pessoal, isso aqui é preparativo aqui, faltam aproximadamente 30 minutos para o presidente Clinton estar aqui, aí o pessoal chegando, se acomodando, né? Bastante segurança, tudo. Né? Aqui a entrada, ele vai falar daqui, ó. Falar daqui, desse, né? Ele não sabe se é do público, tudo, ele deve chegar daqui a pouco aqui.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming President Bill Clinton. And for that, I'm very grateful. So tomorrow, since we're old and we don't have anything to do, Hillary's going to the Balkans, which is really important because we ended a terrible genocide there 15 years ago, and now the political settlement is fraying. So after I leave you to do one other event, we're finally going to have an anniversary celebration tonight. But I am delighted to be here today because I'm fascinated by project management. And the more I thought about coming here, the more I thought about how much of my life, how many of my campaigns, my work when I was an attorney general, when I was the governor, when I was president, and my work now revolves around good or not so good project management. How to allocate money, time, and people in a way that achieves the desired objective. When I took office in 1993, the federal government was held in fairly low esteem, and partly because the leaders of the other party had told us how bad it was for 12 years, and partly because the economy was in bad shape, and partly because the country was changing. And I want to say more about this in a minute, but quite often changes occur faster than any organized and entrenched bureaucracies can keep up with, whether they're public or private. So I asked Al Gore to head this national partnership to reinvent the federal government. We had to save $250 billion in our first budget to reduce the deficit. And we had to do it fairly quickly. We eliminated over half of that in just unnecessary expenses. We never had to fire anybody. We just did it through attrition, early retirement, and the smart application of technology. We reduced what do I need to do? How are we going to do it? If we just get back to that, I think we'll be fine. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President and CEO of Australia.
Thank you. That's interesting that you asked that question because first, you're the first person who ever asked me that question. And, you know, I was born in a place called Hope, and it became kind of a metaphor for my presidency. But there's two kinds of hope. There's the hopes we all have for events over which we have zero control. I hope it'll be as nice tomorrow as it is today. Maybe I could go play golf. I hope the Yankees or the Phillies or whoever will win the World Series. Stuff that you have nothing to do with. We all have those hopes. The hopes that matter are the ones that, in however small a way, your own dreams and your own passion and your own action can have an impact on. So, for me, when I say I hope something, it tells me what I should do with whatever time I have left on earth. So, I hope 5 years from now we'll be out of this mess. And more importantly, that the process of digging out of it will be somehow purifying for us. We'll be learning things, and it will put America back in the future business. Keep in mind, our founders organized this country with one explicit goal: to form a more perfect union. In 18th century language that had a very specific meaning, which is, we will never be perfect, but we can always do better. The genius of a free system and free people is that they can be in the process of permanent renewal. They can make mistakes, they can go awry, they can slow down, they can get behind, but they always have the capacity for permanent renewal. That's what I hope. And that organizes what I do with my life today. But that's what I hope. I don't want, my daughter just got married, I don't want the grandchildren I hope to have to grow up in a world without believing tomorrow can be better today, without believing that they are empowered to live their dreams. And it's not just a material hope. Although one of my rules of politics is whenever somebody tells you it's not a money problem, they're talking about somebody else's problem. That is, there is dignity to work and dignity to possibility. And it is crushing for people to believe they can't do right by their families, to do right by their potential, and do right by their dreams because they don't have work or they don't have possibility. So that's what I hope. I hope that this whole period will, in the end, somehow bring us back to the basic things in life thrown into the 21st century so that we make America a tomorrow country again, and in the process bring the world together instead of having all these people think that our differences are more important than our common humanity, even if it means we have to kill each other to prove it. That's what I hope. That's the hope, and it keeps me going because I believe that. That's why I was so ecstatic when I read about that physics discovery about the positive and the negative elements not being in equal balance, but the positive just slightly outweighing the negative. I took it as a message from God that we should just keep on trying, that we can make this work out. That's what I hope.